So, how was dinner?
Dinner was good, man. Dinner was good. Had a nice little Olive Garden.
Mm.
Got my last taste of American food before heading off to Europe.
So let me get this straight. You went to Olive Garden when you're about to go overseas and have some real Italian food.
I'm not going to Italy.
Oh, my bad, my bad. We hadn't clarified where all you were going, but yeah, JP, it's a great Tuesday, man. Great Tuesday.
What a Tuesday.
Yep, we are live on the TJD Sports Podcast, and obviously for you viewers, like we you see that Dylan's not here. Dylan's once again here in memory, buddy. He's celebrating his birthday. Happy birthday, Dylan.
Old man.
Yeah, what a old man. And wish him happy birthday. And JP, so this is gonna be your last one for a while.
It's gonna be my last one for 3 weeks. Yep.
Man.
Until the new year.
Yep, till the new year, till 2025. That's
Mm.
crazy, man. Crazy. Trying to make sure, double checking to make sure we're good.
We're good.
Is it? Okay.
We are good.
Yeah, bet that up. Well, JP, how about we go into little college football drop their bracket on Sunday? Do you watch it? Did you watch the selection show?
I did. I watched it till Tennessee's ranking came out, and then I had to go to work.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll dive into that in a little bit. Man, what a weekend for championship football though. A lot of good games. A lot of good games.
It was actually a lot of great games, except one. And then Arizona State, they remain hot right now. But man, what a draw they took!
Did you
What a
see?
draw!
Did you see what their coach said
Mm-mm.
after the game? He was talking about how he was like, "Man, I really hope that the committee looks at it and we had our quarterback. Florida State didn't have their quarterback last year, and they got snuffed. So I'm really hoping that the
Mm.
committee gives us the seating that we deserve."
Mm.
Yeah, kind of took a shot at them, but hey, I'm here for it. They played really good. So
Did you see what Kirk Herbstreit said? After, no, not Kirk. Pat McAfee said after the bracket went out. He
uh
goes, "Hey, do you think Florida State can make this bracket?"
oh man,
Mm.
love me some Pat McAfee though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he's
Arizona
yeah.
State, they absolutely pummeled Iowa State. I mean, it wasn't even close. I think Iowa State was winning 7-3 at one point, and then it was all freaking tail lights after that one.
Yeah.
Uh, Georgia, that game was me. We can dive in that one here in a second, but that game was very mid in my opinion. Penn State actually showed life. I can't believe they were able to put up that many points on a fairly good Oregon team. I feel like if that team showed up against Ohio State, they'd probably boat race Ohio State in that game. And then it's just
Yeah, like where has that Penn State team been? They just decided, hey, we're gonna show up. I mean, that's
James Franklin, man. You're
Dylan.
not young, buddy. You're
No, buddy,
not
you're
young.
not young anymore, man. You're not young.
But
Uh, it was
Penn State. Hmm. I think they're a little. I think they're. They had so much favoritism for some weird reason in this bracket, and yeah, we'll leave it at
well,
that for right now.
yeah. We'll talk about that in a minute. What? So you said that the Georgia game was kind of meh. So
It
why
was
why do you think it was?
it was very sloppy in my opinion, especially for two teams that you're expecting to make a massive run in this playoff push. Like I feel like this is definitely one of the games where Texas needed to punch back and say, "Hey, Georgia got lucky the first game, and we're gonna go beat you in Atlanta and punch you in the mouth real quick."
Yeah,
And they didn't. Texas looked slow. They looked sloppy. Quinn Ewers looked terrible. I mean, I don't even know what the penalty totals, but I think at one point it was like 13 Texas to 3 Georgia.
When the last time I saw it and really was paying attention, it was I think Texas had like 9 penalties for like 80 something yards, 90
Yeah.
something yards. And it's like at that point, man, like in that moment you look at Georgia and you're like, you just gotta capitalize, especially if they're gonna give you all those penalties. I get it, most of those were on offense as well. Um, but it was yeah, Texas side it was sloppy. Quinn Ewers was still battling that high ankle sprain, so I mean he didn't look as mobile as he should have been. But
You
on
have,
the Georgia,
I mean, but you're a top team. I get it. You have trust in Quinn Ewers, but you also have a very talented Arch Manning. I mean, granted, he's still young, but he's shown that he can get the job done
did he even
numerous
come?
times.
Did he come in at all in that
Yeah,
game?
he comes in as the QB runs and stuff.
Okay, I couldn't remember if he did or not on Saturday. Speaking of quarterbacks, how about Carson Beck taking an absolute shot before half? I mean,
Get rid of the ball.
he when he during when he had to come in for that one play at the end of the game to win it, you could see like he couldn't move his arm.
Oh, his arm's toast.
Yeah.
Like
So
if you go back and look at the replay, his arm is toast.
okay, so I guess my question is so do you think Gunnar Stockton is going to be their quarterback that is going to lead them through the college football playoff?
Uh,
Or do you think Carson Beck is going to take 3 weeks or however long, recover and see if he can give it a go? And
that's a. I mean, he has till January 1st. So I mean,
yeah,
he's
so
got time to recover, but at the same time, that's back to back weeks where he's taking a shot on that arm.
yeah,
And
and
so I don't know, man. I really don't know. Like the first one looked very iffy whenever they played Georgia Tech, and then that one was just a complete. I'm going to just destroy your arm here, and I don't care. And it looked like everything in its elbow snapped, in my opinion.
I'm really I wonder I really want to know what happened, like what the
Oh,
diagnosis
I bet
was.
it's something's torn. I bet something's torn.
Oh, 100.
They're probably gonna give him some PRP injections and make sure some it heals because I think those take 2 or 3 weeks to somewhat heal.
Yeah,
So I bet he got one immediately right after the game, and they're just kind of keeping it hush hush so everybody's like panicking like, oh, Georgia's gonna be out of it now. So I don't know, man. I mean, it from the hit, it looked terrible, and when he came in to give that handoff, it looked terrible still. So I don't know what they're gonna be
yeah,
doing. I'm glad I'm not the one in charge of making that decision.
yeah. Because I mean, obviously, Carson Beck's going to want to be out there and playing in those games, but
Yeah.
at the same time, like you can't go out there and want to play those games and not be 100%, especially because these are so important for everybody now, and you got to put yourself behind the team at that point. And okay, dealing with a random dealing with a random comment. Okay, but yeah, okay, we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about basketball because college basketball, it's looking good for the Vols right now. But yeah, so JP, you want to take a dive into the bracket?
Yeah, man. So if those that haven't seen it, you have Oregon at 1, Georgia 2, Boise State 3, Arizona State 4. I think that's very respectable top four there. I mean, they all are well deserved. Boise State fought their butt off all year. Arizona State came in and surged late, took dominance to get that fourth spot. Georgia had a somewhat of a harder path to get to that second seed, but Oregon dominated all year. And then I got Texas at 5, and then Notre Dame at 7, Penn State 6, Ohio State, Tennessee 8 and 9, Indiana 10, SMU 11, and Clemson at 12. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I like the bracket. I do.
I
Um,
like it. I don't like the matchups.
so okay, so the Tennessee Ohio State,
That's
that
the
one's
best
very
matchup.
that's by far the best matchup of any of the games that's going to be taking place in the first round. Um, those two are very interchangeable. I feel like I feel like like they so either one of those teams could have hosted. It just depended on what the committee thought. Ohio State had a terrible loss to Michigan. Tennessee had a terrible loss at Arkansas. So and it's then they Ohio State lost to number one Oregon, and then Tennessee lost to Georgia. So those two teams are very even in the bracket, and I like I like that matchup. We'll see how the Vols handle the
If
cold.
if I'm Oregon, I'm pissed.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean,
I
either
mean,
way,
there's
you,
not really any way to put that. I mean, if I'm Oregon, I am pissed off because not only are you a new team to the Big Ten, you ran the whole table, won the conference, and you get the winner of Tennessee or Ohio State.
and on top of that, you could with those one the winner of that Tennessee Ohio State game, Oregon very well could be put out in their first college football game or college
Yes.
football playoff game,
Yep.
and it just I agree. If I'm Oregon, I would have expected to kind of play like a like a Clemson or SMU or Indiana or somebody like that that's lower on the table. Um, but yeah, man, it's
I mean, Arizona State, they have a decent draw. Texas, I think, has an easy draw if they can play Texas football in the first
right.
round. I don't think Clemson's got the willpower to go into Austin and beat Texas, in my opinion. I think that one's going to be an easy win for Texas if they do what they are supposed to do.
Yeah,
Now,
I agree with that. Yeah,
Penn's do what?
Texas should handle business against Clemson at home.
Yes.
Um, and then they'll play Arizona State. That I think that will be a good game. I think nobody's really expecting that to be a good game. I think that will be if Texas makes it to the next round. Um, Georgia, in my opinion, Georgia's got a cupcake walk too.
Yep.
You got the winner of Indiana and Notre Dame. Notre Dame doesn't play good in playoffs, is what we've talked about in the past. Uh, Indiana's first time in playoffs, so
Just that whole side of the bracket disturbs me on how they thought this out. Notre Dame, you lose to Northern Illinois. Okay, that's at home. You didn't just lose to them, you got dominated. I mean, granted, you still lost by 3 points, but you lost to a 5-7 MAC team
right. And then
at
I think
home.
that's the worst. I think that it out of all the teams in the playoff, I think that is definitely by far the worst loss of any of them.
Yes. And your quote unquote notable win is Army.
Yeah,
Lot of gray area on why they should be hosting. And then I mean Penn State, what the heck? I mean, you play two ranked games all year and you get boat raced in both.
yeah, man. There's I like the bracket on the Oregon side.
Yes.
The Georgia Boise State side, it's very questionable on. I think, in my opinion, I feel like well, Penn State is hosting.
Penn
Um,
State is hosting for some reason. I don't even know who I'd rather have hosting that side of it, in my opinion. I mean, granted, SMU doesn't really have a well, they're 1-1 against ranked teams, I guess. Clemson was ranked, or no, they lost to Clemson, so they're 0-2, just as Penn State.
yeah,
But still, I mean, Penn State's supposed to win those games,
yeah. I'm just I don't know. the
I think the
it's something,
committee
man.
knew what they were doing. They set that up perfectly for Georgia to get back in the title game, and then they're just going to let everybody else beef out on the other side, and whoever's in that title game is going to be in that title game.
Yeah,
Because like
well,
it's stacked. Like you look at it, you have Tennessee, Ohio State, Oregon, Clemson, Texas, Arizona State. Those are all big dogs as of right now, just going at it on one side. Then you have Indiana, soft, Notre Dame, soft, SMU, soft, Penn State, soft, Boise State, respectable, and Georgia, respectable.
yeah, man, that side is definitely the weaker side of the bracket for sure. I wish I wish the committee would have taken that into consideration too. Is like why are all the big dogs, like you said, playing on one side of the bracket, and then you have all these other teams that basically have. I mean, I wouldn't say a cupcake walk for any of them. Like Georgia's bracket is is probably definitely the softer of the two. Um, but I mean, looking at it, it's I don't know. I have some questions, and they were talking about it and how like nobody there's going to be things that are people say about how it was picked and how it should have been picked, but then they're also going to agree and then they disagree, and so it was.
See,
Uh,
what I really like about this year's bracket is Boise State because whenever they were making this bracket setup, they were going to automatically give the 1 through 4 the Power 4 champions. And Boise State picked that out right out of the gate and said, no. And if I'm the college football playoff committee, you just need to get rid of, oh, the top 4 is your champions of the Power 4 right out of the gate. Like, you can't pick from that because you could have an 8-4 team just by some miracle, most likely, that makes a conference championship game, but yet wins their conference just because the rest of the conference sucked. Like,
yeah,
you have a 4 loss team in there. Granted, you could still put them in, but they don't deserve to be a 1 through 4.
yeah. Did you speaking on that point? Did you see during the selection show that they were talking about how like this first year with the 12 team playoff, it's definitely going to be a trial run. But some of them were saying that in not next year because they're going to rework how this all went down this year into next. But the year after, they were talking about how there might be another expansion, and instead of 12, making it 14 or 16.
Hmm.
And at
And
that point,
then
if you have
you'll see 3 loss and 4 loss teams in there then.
yeah, at that point, you would definitely have your 3 loss Alabama being there. You'd have 4 loss teams being there, and then so I don't know. It's all I'm
I don't
gonna
know.
say is
I feel like 12 is the good number here.
yeah,
It's just you can't automatically give teams a spot just because oh we or you can't give them the top 4 spots just because they won the Power 4 conference. Like I think
yeah.
it's solely go on strength of schedule and how you do against those opponents by record.
Well, they were also saying that like instead of having your Arizona State or not Arizona State, your Clemson that was ranked 15th get in automatically because they won their conference championship, that it should strictly be 1 through 12.
Yeah.
And to that point though, if you do that, then what's the point of playing for a conference championship? So it's like you
Well, it's
have your
fine. I mean, Clemson's fine. Like I get it. They were not good all year. They still won their conference,
yeah.
but they didn't get a top 4 spot. They're ranked 12th. Like that's perfectly okay.
But
I'm
instead of putting them as what are they on here?
They're 12.
Yeah. So they yeah. So I don't know. I think I was looking at something else. I got my
Well,
mind was going
they're
one way.
ranking 16, but their seed is 12th. They're the last quote unquote power school.
Yeah. I don't know. They'll definitely they're definitely going to have to rework it next year because it does need to be changed just a little bit. Um, like I know I wanted SMU in over Alabama more than anything and more than anybody, and I'm glad that SMU is in there because I didn't want to see Alabama just get in there just because they're Alabama. Um, they I don't know. It just I don't know. It needs to be reworked a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean the idea is definitely there. They just need to tweak it.
Yeah, yeah. I like where they were going with it, and I mean, the only other thing I'm gonna say is that like we talked about, I just wish that the brackets were more not one side is heavier than the other side, and
Yes.
because so let's just say hypothetically speaking, you could have in the third round you could have Boise State and Boise State and Georgia playing in that quarterfinal or
Mm-hmm.
semifinal. And so then what? It's like let's just say hypothetically speaking that Boise State makes it all the way to the national championship.
Yep.
And then you have Oregon. Like I mean, obviously Boise State only lost by 3 to Oregon, but those Georgia and Boise State definitely have are the favorites to make it to the next round after their game for sure.
Yes.
If you had to pick, if you had to pick, who are the two schools that are playing for the national championship?
Shoot. If I if I'm going by, I know it's going to be because there's games are so spaced out. But if they weren't, I'd definitely pick Arizona State and probably Georgia.
So you think Arizona State and Georgia are going to be your national?
If the games weren't so spaced out, yes.
So if you had to say, going off of this right now, are those your two teams that you're picking?
I'm going Oregon and Boise.
Really? I was not expecting you to pick Boise. I really
I
was.
think it's going to be a week 2 rematch.
I think I honestly think that if I know that we're biased to it, and you know that like we're all Tennessee fans, like but like seriously looking at it, if Tennessee comes out and plays the style of football that they have shown that they can play and play at a high level and beat you seriously could be looking at a Texas and Tennessee semifinal to decide who goes to the Natty. Realistically, like, but or hypothetically speaking, but my if I had to pick the two teams that are going to be playing for the Natty, it's going to be Oregon. You know what? I think honestly, I think you're right. I think it's going to be Oregon and Boise. I like it. It just depends. It just depends on who Georgia has as their starting quarterback come playoff time.
My problem with Tennessee's matchup with Oregon's faster.
Yeah,
So I think that'll be Tennessee's kryptonite, and that'll be the difference in that game. Is that Oregon's receivers are faster, the defensive backs are faster. Nico doesn't make quick decisions; he takes longer to make decisions, and that's going to cost him.
yeah, and you know they got to make it. They got to make it past Ohio State first, buddy. Let's just be real. That's going to be going into Ohio State, cold weather. You know it's going to be loud,
I think
and
Ohio State fans are going to be more worried about trying to get Ryan Day fired than they are trying to hate Tennessee.
they were
If I'm
saying
being honest.
They were saying something that I thought was hilarious. They were saying that if you were Ohio State football right now, that wouldn't you want to be hoping that you were going to Knoxville instead of playing at home, especially after how all the fans reacted last time you were at home?
Yep.
And it was, yeah, it was. I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. I was really hoping that Tennessee was going to host, but like I said, those two were very interchangeable.
That's all
Um,
right.
yeah, it is what it is. It would have been awesome. It would have been awesome to see a playoff game in Knoxville. It would have been electric. And that game's the night game too.
Yeah, it's best game of the slate so far.
Yep, for sure. For sure. Did you see I think Dylan sent it to us earlier where what's his name? The receiver for Tennessee is thinking about talking about going to the transfer portal.
Oh, Chaz Nimrod.
Yeah, Nimrod.
Yeah, good. Catch a football. It's your position. Catch the ball.
Yeah, you Nimrod.
I mean,
Sorry.
I get it. I get it if he was getting if he was dropping like tough catches, but the balls he was dropping, he was wide open. So I have no sympathy for that. Like catch the ball.
Yeah. No, I agree. You ready to go to the NFL?
Oh, I am so ready to go to the NFL this time.
Oh man, I wish Dylan was in here. Oh, I wish Dylan was in here for this talk. It was to say the least, buddy. The Jags and Titans game was a toilet bowl. It was not fun to watch.
Oh, I enjoyed every bit of that last fourth quarter. I
Oh
enjoyed
man.
every bit of it.
Yeah, it was I think it was the lowest scoring game in the NFL this season.
Hey, all I gotta say, 2 word or 4 words. Brian Thomas, Tank Bigsby.
Yep. They Titans couldn't figure it out, man. They looked I don't even know. Like at this point, like Will Levis has been playing good, but it's like there's just something that's missing. And if Dylan were in here, he would be saying that we have the worst right tackle in the league. And
He only got sacked twice, so he can't use that excuse this week.
yeah, but that right tackle did get a lot of penalties though. Like, and
Mac Jones threw 2 picks, so
I'm not.
we can use excuses all day.
The Titans should have won that game. They should have.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda, man.
Exactly. They just didn't. They didn't play well. They just.
Hey, we could sit here and we could talk about draft picks and how the Jags just ruined their chances of getting the first pick, but I don't care. They beat the Titans.
What was that the first time in like the first time in 9 years?
So they had beaten them once in 9 years, and that was the second time in 10 years.
They gotta figure something out.
Yeah. Nope, they don't have to. They can keep sucking.
I mean, it wasn't even fun to watch, and it's just like man, come on. It's like Will Levis after the game, like you could see when he walked off the field, he took his helmet off and threw it, right? Well, at what point, like, I mean, I get it. Everybody's competitive, but buddy, you suck. The Titans suck. You can't be mad about losing because you know that at the beginning of the year you were definitely part of the problem.
Yeah,
And
no, it's funny because I was at work. We're getting ready to set it for our basketball game that day, and everybody's watching me. I'm watching my computer very intently because I didn't get to watch till the second half. And there was like, "What are you watching?" I was like, "Jags Titans, go away."
Jags Titans go away.
They're like, "Why do you care so much about it?" It's like, because it's 6-3 and we're driving. Go away.
Leave me alone. Don't talk to me.
Oh my gosh.
You know, there are a lot of other games that happened this weekend. I don't really remember who we picked from, to be honest with you. But you know, there were a lot of games this weekend that were just terrible to watch.
Yeah.
The the Dolphins game, terrible. The Vikings absolutely put a smackdown on the Falcons. The Saints won off of the Giants kicker not being able to tie the game.
They got blocked. Relax.
It, it did get blocked. It did get blocked. I'm not gonna go in depth with that because I don't really know much. The Eagles. Okay, there's frustration going on with the Eagles, and I don't know if you've seen that or not, but they're averaging 190.5 yards rushing, and they're only averaging 180 yards passing. And the receipt, like AJ Brown, is frustrated, and I don't blame him. But I mean, you have Saquon Barkley, like.
I mean,
It's.
And then if you're getting mad about that, I mean, yes, you want the ball as a guy, especially if you're a receiver and you're a top receiver, and that's what you signed to be. But if you know a guy is close to breaking a single season record and he is still helping y'all win a game,
They're 11-2, 11-2, and they're frustrated.
That's my point. Like if he's helping y'all win the game, quit being selfish.
Seriously, at that point, like you will get the ball. Just
he had the most receiving receptions and the yards on the team against the Panthers.
Like it doesn't. I just don't understand. Like, and they only won by a touchdown against the Panthers.
The Panthers are looking pretty good though. I think Bryce Young is starting to figure it out a little bit.
Yeah, man, it was that call. It was that call he got from Rod Wave. Did you not see that?
Mm-mm.
Before it was like they were showing his stats before he got that call from Rod Wave. Before he was absolutely terrible, and then ever since he got that call, he's been showing flashes that like, hey, I'm a good quarterback. I know what I'm doing. And then I don't really care about the Steelers game. They play the Browns, whatever. Bucks beat the Raiders. Jags beat the Titans. Seahawks put a smackdown on the Cardinals.
Yeah, but Gino didn't do anything for me. Loser.
And then, did you watch the Rams Bills game?
Yeah, I saw the shootout.
Oh, that was a fun one to watch.
I mean,
Bears.
Defense.
Yeah, the Bears. All I'm gonna say. And then the Chiefs squeak out. That me and you are on the same page. We're so tired of the Chiefs winning, and it's just getting to the point now where it's.
I'm not even mad about them winning. I mean, everybody wins. That's how they win.
Yeah, it's how they win.
What everybody sees how they win is what's even more frustrating about it.
And I'm not saying like I'm okay with them winning this close game against the Chargers because the Chargers are a good football team. And every time that those two teams play, they play close games against each other. So I'm not worried. I'm not really okay.
Who is their right guard?
I couldn't tell you.
For
who, the Chiefs?
Yeah, the Chiefs.
I couldn't tell you.
That guy false starts every single play.
And they don't call it.
Like, he is not even close.
He is moving before the ball is snapped, and they're just not calling it.
Like, I don't understand what they're looking at because, like, I've seen guys that twitch their nose and they call false start. But yeah, this guy's whole body's moving. And they're not even, I guess they're just looking at the sideline when the play is about to happen or something because holy smokes, it's clear as day.
And it's not even like he's trying to hide it either. He's doing it every single time.
And the funny thing is he still can't block.
Exactly. And it's I don't know, man. It's eventually you would think that they would call that and be like, okay.
He's been doing it for 2 years. I hadn't seen it called once. So I'm not
it is. Yeah, it's annoying. Um, do you
Bengals
watch?
found a way.
Huh?
The Bengals found a way.
I was about to just ask that. Did you watch that game?
Yeah, I laughed every time too.
Did you watch it? Did you watch it as a Simpsons or did you watch it normal?
I watched it normal. I didn't even know there was a Simpsons version.
Oh man, it was watching it as the Simpsons was hilarious. Like at one point, I think Bart threw a touchdown. So did Homer, and then Lisa caught it when Jamar Chase scored that game-winning touchdown. It was Lisa who caught the pass.
Jeez.
It was definitely you know it, I have a lot of things to say, or not necessarily a lot to say. One of my main things is final drive of the game, right? What is up with teams just not being so terrible at clock management?
Hold on. Before we even get to that, what the heck was that guy doing on the point?
You know, okay, so I'm gonna defend him a little bit here, okay?
There's
He
no.
he just he just got signed off the practice squad this week, right? And if if he wouldn't have touched that ball, it was dead ball. The Cowboys would have got it, and they more than likely would have scored because they would have been on the Bengals side of the field.
Exactly. Why'd he touch the ball?
I think he was just trying to be a hero, and
Why? You
I
have
don't,
five
I don't know.
Bengals guys around you.
I don't
Why?
know. I don't know. What I think he did is he went to go catch the ball like this, and then when he went to go catch it, he went like that and looked and probably crapped his pants. like,
Yeah, well, he
it,
can crap his pants back on the practice squad.
and I understand Cooper Rush is a backup quarterback, right? But when you were in the final minute of the game, man, and it's like they just were moving like turtles trying to get up the field. Then on what was it? Third and no, it was third down,
Didn't they
right?
have
When he
three
took that back.
timeouts going into that final drive?
Yeah, yeah. They just weren't calling timeouts. For some reason they just didn't call timeouts. And
McCarthy, man.
and that's the thing is I had said it last night. That was the most Chicago Bears Dallas Cowboy thing to do. The Bears did it, the Cowboys did it. It is at what point do you just sit there and you're like, all right, we got to call timeout. We got to call timeout. And terrible clock management. And then the final play of the game for the Cowboys, you have your star receiver in CD Lamb wide open in the middle of the field, wide open. And yet we're going to not even look at him. We're going to look at Ferguson, who has a safety on him. Then the ball was overthrown. And it's like in those moments you have to be looking for your star receiver because that's where he is going to thrive and that is why you pay him that money and yet you do not throw it to him. It baffled me. And I have CD Lamb on my fantasy team. And I don't know if I told you this, but I lost by a point.
I had Rico. I needed that last drive.
I lost by one stinking point.
If it makes you feel any better, I beat somebody by 0.63 points.
Hey, a win's a win, buddy. Win's a win.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
Well, here's the thing though, JP. Going into it, I was down. I needed 38 points to win. No, needed. I needed 30 points. CeeDee Lamb did his job. Brandon Aubrey did his job. Cooper Rush. That's all I'm going to say is Cooper Rush screwed me.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Dallas, I mean, I know Jerry Jones is the owner of everything down there in Happy Arlington, but holy smokes, he needs to go Freaking Mike McCarthy needs to go. Dak Prescott needs to go. And then whoever their offensive coordinator needs to go. Like, they need to clean house. And I mean top to bottom. And it's it's
It
crazy, man.
it's just bad. It's bad to watch. Like,
You just
but
go
hey,
from being a respectable team to a laughing stock now, in my opinion. They're starting to come down to the lower teams, which I actually have never seen the Cowboys near. So it's getting kind of interesting to see where that's going to go.
you know, in the past 2 years for the Cowboys, 2 years ago they were 8-1 at home.
They can't
Last
win
year
at
they
home.
were 8-0 at home. Now they're 1-5 at home.
Yeah, they can't win at home.
So if the Cowboys ever play at home, I'm just gonna say this right now: hammer the other team's money line. Like, it's just not even. And you know what? I don't even know. I don't even know what else, I don't even know what else to say. It is what it is. Hey, but guess what, buddy? This Monday night we have two spectacular games on Monday. The first game, the Vikings and the Bears. Then,
Won't be watching that. It'll
oh, but
be like 3 in the morning.
the second game, the second game. Let me before I say this, let me make sure. Okay, the second game is the Falcons and the Raiders.
Mm.
So, I think it's safe to say that I probably will not be watching either of those games. I'll be watching the Bears game, obviously, because I'm a Bears fan. But it
I'll
is
be
what it is.
watching it on Normandy.
You can store on the beaches.
I will. I'll send you a picture of it.
Just go run out in the ocean and swim back in and
Hey,
just start
I'll
running.
send I'll send you a picture from the bunkers. I got you.
Yeah, just start running.
This is how the Bears feel like in San Francisco.
Facts. It just wasn't even fun to watch. I was very annoyed. I
Hmm.
they were showing it on Red Zone, and I was like, please just go away from this game. I don't want to watch it, please.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Do we have a question of the day or no?
we do not. I've been slow about it, and
Mm-mm-mm.
we got we got to get a question. We got to get
Mm-mm-mm.
it back. Got to get it back in. Uh, but before we go on to other sports, if you had to pick right now, who is your Super Bowl winner?
Mm. I still think it's the Bills.
You think it's going to be the Bills?
I think so. I mean, Stafford's just Stafford. He does really well against coverage defense and
You mean Allen? You mean Josh Allen
Matthew Stafford.
for the
And I
Bills?
whenever he played against them, that's the only reason why they were able to put up 44 points is because Matthew Stafford is really good against the coverage. So that's why they scored that many.
Well,
But
I'm saying like
yeah, I mean Josh Allen is. I think the Bills will win the Super Bowl.
okay, okay. I do agree with what you're saying though. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's gonna be an NFC team. I don't know which one it's gonna be. It's either gonna be the Lions or it's gonna be the Eagles. I just don't. I think those are your two. One of those two teams will be in the Super Bowl, and in my opinion, is gonna win it because on the other side, you're gonna probably have the Bills and the Chiefs who are gonna play each other to go to the Super Bowl. So
I hope it's in Buffalo too.
I think it's going to be. I think the Super Bowl matchup is going to be the Bills and the Lions.
That would be a matchup.
That'd be a good game. That would be a really good game. So if the NFL just wants to go ahead and script that and say, hey, like,
Oh, it probably already is.
yeah, it probably already is because wouldn't that be Detroit's first Super Bowl?
I think it would be.
Yeah, and it would be so you're telling you would have the first Super Bowl for the Lions, and then you have Josh Allen potentially getting his first Super Bowl ring. That's a good game. Good game.
And yeah, because I don't. Yeah, and Jared Goof.
Jared Goof. Yeah, it'd be a good game. It'll be a good game for sure. Um, you ready to go to the you ready to go to the MLB?
Let's go to the MLB, man.
I mean, all I'm gonna say is Juan Soto's never gonna have to worry about money ever again in the rest of his life. He will be paid until the day he dies. And that is ridiculous. And on top of that, he'll probably even still be making money from beyond the grave with how much he just got paid.
It's funny. I don't know who made this video. It's literally of Juan Soto just having horrendous reads in the outfield, and it's going, "Hey Mets, this is the guy you signed for 765 million." I'm just missing fly ball after fly ball after fly ball.
Well, let's just be honest, buddy. Most of the teams could really just don't even care what he does in the outfield. He's there to hit, and that's all it is.
He better be hitting 420 with 75 jacks and 200 ribbies.
Well, he hits really good at City Field, and he pulled. They were talking about it. I think it was yesterday that they were talking about how he has been pulling the ball a lot more, and it's just a porch again, and so he'll thrive there for 15 years, $765 million with a $75 million signing bonus.
He'll get traded halfway through that contract.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like once the Mets have their decline like they always do, they will trade him away to try and get some of that money back.
I don't think they trade him away. I think he demands a trade.
Yeah, I could
Opts
see that
out.
too. I could see that too. Um, Another thing, how about Max Fried going to the Yankees for 8 years, $218 million?
He's gonna hate it.
Yeah, I
He's gonna hate every bit of it.
yeah. Um, I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, Atlanta's dumb.
Oh yeah, but here's the thing though: is Atlanta never pays their players. They
Yeah.
they always try to lowball them on all these contracts, and so that they lock them up for all these years and barely have to pay them.
Yeah, well, it's costing them a left-handed starting pitcher.
Yeah, yeah. It be interesting to see what the Braves do, and who they go after. Nathan Eovaldi, your boy, signed a 3-year contract to the Rangers.
How much did they sign him for? Because I know he was asking for a decent amount.
Let me look. Let me look at that. Whenever I looked at it earlier, it just said that he signed a 3-year contract with the Rangers.
Because I know
Uh,
he was asking a decent amount, so that's why the Rangers weren't going to sign him.
yeah,
So I wonder if he came down so he could re-sign with
it
them.
is. It is 3 years and $75 million.
Oh wow, he really undersigned what he was asking for.
Yeah, yeah, he did. Um, I mean, Rangers are just. I mean, like they're another one of those teams like that. You spent all that money. I mean,
I mean, yeah, but I think they're trying to. I don't know what Texas is going to try to do. To be honest with you, they need pitchers and they're not signing any. So I don't know what the issue or what their GM's trying to do there.
yeah. I just saw there was another one just a little bit ago for a trade that happened in MLB. Uh, so Ken Rosenthal retweeted this. I don't know how this is. I don't know how true this is going to be. It says that Kyle Tucker fits what the Chicago Cubs are looking for. Had no clue that he was even on the radar for the Cubs. Um,
If you sign
so
Kyle Tucker, you need Cody Bellinger.
that's what I'm saying. We can't get rid of Cody Bellinger and Suzuki. In my opinion, I think Suzuki just he's always hurt, and I feel like Cody Bellinger would definitely be that. Kyle Tucker and Cody Bellinger would be elite in Chicago.
I'm
Um,
curious where Anthony Rizzo goes.
yeah. Did you see where the Blue Jays are acquiring second baseman Andres Jimenez from
Yes.
the Guardians?
Yeah, 3-year deal.
Yep, yep. Uh, let's see. Let's see if anything else happened. yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the Cubs are gonna do. Um, Apparently the Mets and the Yankees are now eyeing um, Crochet from the White Sox. So
How do the Mets have any money?
Steve Cohen, man, he just throws it out. He's
He just
not
hopes
afraid to
somebody would
spend it.
sign it.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's MLB right now because they're in their winter meetings right now, and
Yeah.
they have their winter meetings until the 12th, so Thursday. So a lot of things can happen. I'm really hoping. I want to like. Okay, speaking of the Mets, so where's Pete Alonso going to be?
DH.
Yeah, but he's not. They're not. I don't think they have any plans to bring him back. They're because when they put out their projected starting lineup, Pete Alonso wasn't on there.
I don't know, man.
They had.
He,
I think he's going to the AL.
interesting. I don't know where. I have no idea. I've heard nothing about from Mr. Pete.
And then you like we just said you have Anthony Rizzo. Where's he going to go? And eh, it's like all these like they're big name players, but not worth the big time money. And it's just trying to figure out where they're going to go. It would be. I would love if Anthony Rizzo came back to Chicago. It'd be
Yeah.
amazing. I would jump for joy. But yeah, it's we still got a couple days, and the MLB's is starting to heat up with some trades and acquisitions that are just really turning everybody's head. Like, oh man, I didn't expect that. Like, we'll
Yeah.
see. You ready to go to the ice?
Yeah, let's take it to the ice. We got quite a, or not quite a few things, but we got some things that are pretty interesting. Uh, First of all, Predators lost their eighth straight. They just blew another game to Calgary. UC Saros has been awful in between the pipes this season. He's I think he just lost his 17th game of the season already, and he's only had 6 games won in between the pipes, so that's terrible. Um, he's just not been good in my opinion this season. Yeah, he's giving up almost 3 goals. That's terrible, especially with an offense that has been struggling and not putting the puck in the net. But enough for the Predators. They're struggling, so that's it. There's not really much to elaborate on that. Um, but going out to the West Coast down in Vancouver, Thatcher Dimko, their top goaltender for the Canucks, he's making a season debut tonight against the St. Louis Blues. So that's going to be good to see him get back into it all. And then Colorado makes another goaltender trade. They made it with the San Jose Sharks. They got rid of their top goaltender, Alexander George, for Mackenzie Blackwood. And so that's going to be interesting to see what the Sharks in Colorado does there. And then also, whenever they were doing that, Sharks added Nikolai Kolovenko. So that's going to be a good addition because he's very good offensively at that forward position. And then to kind of wrap up everything, Kevin, I'm going to botch this so badly. It's Sharkton Kirk. He's retired after 14 seasons on the ice. So that's all I have for NHL for today.
It's almost that time to get into hockey season, JP. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Getting close to it.
I've actually been more into it. It's been a struggle. It's been a struggle whenever the Predators haven't been doing good. So yeah, it's just like, okay, I turn it on. Oh, they're winning. Just kidding. They're losing 3 minutes later. It's
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
and so especially whenever they got a big test coming up on Thursday, they play another division rival, conference rival, the Dallas Stars, and the Stars have been taking it to them recently. So it's definitely been hard to watch them.
Oh yeah, buddy. It it's I don't know, man. It's been like I said. I will be playing or I will be paying more attention when it comes after football. But you know, uh, real quick, we'll just change over to college basketball real quick. We're in new waters here, JP. New waters.
Yes, we are.
New waters. So number one, Kansas, right? They lose to Creighton. Then they lost to Missouri. So then I look today, and who's at the number one? The good old Tennessee Volunteers, baby.
I don't.
They're playing some good basketball over there.
Yeah, I don't want it though. The way this year the number one rank has been, it's been a revolving door of teams coming in and out of that one spot. Do not want that spot.
I mean, but hey, good for them, right? Like this could be their year, you know. I mean, hypothetically speaking, JP, imagine baseball wins the Natty, come back, football wins the Natty, men's basketball wins a Natty, three national championships in what
Hey,
a
don't forget
12 month
about the
span.
women. The women have actually been doing really good. I think
Yeah,
they're 7-0 this year. Just at the year.
I think they're ranked at 19. I think.
Okay.
And I saw something earlier. I think I told you about it. That like I think when they are ranked 19 right now.
Okay.
I think. Let me double
Yeah,
check
they're ranked.
that.
They're ranked 19. They're 7-0. They
Yeah.
have. They just beat Iowa by 10.
So then, okay, so then add that to the list. Imagine women's basketball bringing a natty back to Knoxville. Four sports bringing a national championship to Knoxville. That'd be elite.
Danny White would be looking like a genius if that happens.
I already think he is. Like it's just the culture over there in Knoxville has changed ever since like in the past couple years, and it's been fun to watch. Rick Barnes is doing his job. It's
My thing with Rick Barnes though is that he can't win in March.
That'll be the test. That will be the test because he has not proven. He has not proven it yet.
No, he is not. And
But
so
it would be
I would love to be thrilled and excited about that, but he cannot win in March for some reason.
yeah. And back to Dylan's comment earlier, the number one player in the country for high school committed to BYU for basketball of all places. Uh,
Amen.
I don't understand why you would choose to go to BYU. Um, you know, there's a lot of other good programs out there,
Yeah, amen.
and you chose to go to BYU of all places.
People
It is
go
what it is.
people go to schools we don't know, but there's probably good reason that he's going there. Probably made a sick deal, said we're gonna pay for your school, we'll give you a Bugatti or something.
Bugatti. Going to join the Mormons, give them a Bugatti.
Hey man, we don't know what happens out out west.
We don't. We sure don't. And that's it. It is what it is. Those Mormons, man. Those Mormons.
Oh gosh. All right, staying on the hardwood. I don't have much on the NBA. All I know is that the Mavericks are down one at the half to the Thunder, but
Oh, mine says that they're down by 3.5.
okay, three at the
But
half.
you
Either
know,
way,
either way, they're down one possession
yeah,
against against a really good Thunder team. So
yeah.
it is what it is. I mean, the Bulls suck still. You know, um, we're 10-15.
Mm.
I say we suck. We don't. They're not terrible, but they're not the
Hey,
best. They're not.
Mavericks are making a surge, man. They're on a 7 game win streak. It's
Yeah.
about time with the talent they have.
Dylan's Knicks are 15-9 right now. So that's good for Dylan, I guess. And I wish I knew more about the Knicks like he does. I gotta be better. I gotta be better. We gotta pick up the slack when he's not here, and it just it is what it is. I mean, basketball is basketball. It's I enjoy watching it, but only it's not like it's gonna be glued to the TV for 4 straight hours.
Hey man, it is what it is.
It is what it is, JP. It is what it is. You got any final thoughts on the night?
I'm good, man.
You know, it was a great Tuesday. It was a great Tuesday. Thankful we got to have this conversation and entertain our viewers for the night. You're about to be gone for 3.5 weeks, and I feel like it was definitely a good episode to end on for the year for you. It was definitely a good one. It was definitely a good one. We had some laughs. We talked about a lot of things tonight, and it was good. I enjoyed it. I really did. But
I definitely had to keep y'all posted up on some stuff, and then add some notes in there from the NHL since I'll be the only one that's quote unquote keeping track.
yeah, make sure you gotta put those notes in so that me and Dylan can talk about it and kind of dumb it down a little bit so that we can be like, instead we're like, what is he talking about? But yeah, it was. It'll be don't forget about me while you're over there, man. You gotta pick me and Jared up something when you're over there. Remember?
Hey man, I gotta be able to come back in the States. Relax.
Whoa! I'm not telling you to bring anything illegal back in here. I'm just saying, there's different flavors over there, and sometimes you just gotta,
A little savor flavor.
just wrap it up, put it in your carry on. There you go.
Yo.
Hey yo, where are you taking that?
Anyways.
Oh man. But thank you guys for watching the TJD Sports Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and JP, what else I gotta do?
Make sure you hit that bell button so every time we go live it notifies you.
Yeah, you'll never miss another moment of the TJD Sports Podcast and all these amazing laughs and everything that we bring to your day. We miss Dylan. Hopefully, me and him will be back on Friday, and we will. I don't know what we're going to talk about on Friday. We'll figure it out. But it'll definitely be interesting, and you'll never want to miss. You'll never want to miss a show of the TJD Sports Podcast. But thank you guys for watching, and we will see you on Friday.